Base resonator here. Who knew that sunflowers come in more than just yellow? That is a Mexican sunflower that was growing on one of my plants out there, and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna try and do a 3D bloom here using those colors. I'm gonna be using some white bloom, but I'm also gonna use red paste from Eye Candy, Buckeye Red, and so I'm gonna do a double bloomy type effect, and I'm gonna have some yellow shards in the middle for the middle section. Yeah, so I'm gonna mix up some resin and then get after it. Coolness. Oh, this Saturday is my wife's and my 39-year anniversary. So on the back of one of these, there's going to be a 3. Back of the other one, there's going to be a 9. Yeah, coolness. Call me romantic, or call me nothing at all. But time to mix up resin. I've mixed up my white, and I'm putting it into a little piping bag right now. Everything's starting to warm up. It's 93 degrees or so. Which is on the warmer side. And the clear is around 95. And I haven't poured it in yet. But let me get my white in the bag. It's in the bag. Get the red in the bag. And it's on the warmish side. I have a little less than an ounce in each of these bags, or each of these colors, the white and the red. Got it ready to go. The red one and the white one with a clip so it doesn't go flipping off on me and get me all covered with stuff. Okay, that is on the hot side. And I'm using a different silicone brush. I got it from Resin Rockers. I heard Julie Cutt say something about if you use a different shape of brush, you'll get different types of technique happening with your pores. So I'm going to try it. I'll show it to you in just a second. And I have some yellow alcohol ink from Let's Resin that I'm going to be putting right in the middle. And I have another dish over here, that pink thing you see out of the corner, and I don't think it's going to have enough to do a whole bloom. It's okay. Don't want to I don't want to throw away any resin. Okay, let's see how this yellow behaves. Every time I say that I think of Austin Powers. Oh, behave. Cool. That's spreading nicely. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to go around with the red and hopefully, you know what? I see, here's the shape of the tool. I see a bubble. Get out of there. Checking to see if there's any over here. No, that's good. Oh, that was not good. Just sliding off the edge. Okay, I'm going to start with the one on the right. And I'm going to try and recreate the shape of the petals of that sunflower. I'm going to go out pretty far. And then a little one in the middle. Okay, and then on this one. So far so good. Or if you're Hebrew, shofar so good. And if you're Alf, I kill me. I don't know if anybody remembers that old TV show. I'm piping around the tripod. I hope this red blooms. Okay, I have a little bit of that left. I'm going to set it over here. And now to get to the white. Doesn't look like it's doing much of anything right now, but whoa, I snipped off a good size. Okay, what I want to do with the white is surround the red. Did not want that to happen. Oh, the red is blooming. Awesome. I want the white to just accent what the red is doing and bring the colors to the flower petals itself. It's really warm in this room where I'm working. I don't want to mess up my flowers. Okay, I'm just going to leave that. Take this now and try and get these petals lined a little better. I'm using Naked Fusion art resin for this, and I let it get pretty hot, and it still seems to be working. I mean, pliable to where I can mess around with it here. Okay, remember I said I had some stones over there? I'm going to put those in the middle right now. Okay. I am sweating, and I have a little bit of resin on my glove. Spray a little bit of alcohol. Get that out of here. It's going to fall over right into the middle of this bloom, and that would not be good. Okay. I got some little gold stone glass. Hope it sinks down through. Gold should, right? Gold is heavy. Hey, that worked out perfect. Okay, now get these to go on down so that we can have a yellow center to this. They'll go down hopefully and cause a little texture and go through the yellow alcohol ink. Hopefully that's what it's going to do. Looks like ketchup and mustard. Now that other coaster mold that I've got over there is does not have much resin in it, so I don't know how it's gonna look when it's done, but you know, that's the cool thing about resin. You know, I gotta reach in front to grab. There are not too many bubbles, but there are a couple every once in a while. There's one right there, one there. And now I'm just going to let it go into time lapse for you. I'm just cleaning up my mess right here, picking up little pieces of dust and dog hair that have blown around. I don't have fans blowing in here, but somehow my dog's hair comes floating up. And I am making sure the lids are on correctly. I don't want anything falling apart and falling or blowing into these pieces here. But I like watching that time lapse. If you focus on the white, you can see it blooming in, which is kind of cool. Yeah, 3D blooms are a trip. The first time I ever saw one done, I was like, what is that? How did that happen? So, yeah. Zooming in a little bit so that you can get a little bit better view. The red is blooming, but not quite as well as the white. I don't know if I have too much colorant or not enough colorant. I gotta pop some of those sneaky bubbles there. We're not a lot in this. I mixed it slowly enough to where there were not a lot developing, which is nice. But those, yeah, those blooms, cool. That yellow in the middle is there, but it's not taking away from the red and that white that are there. And when I unmold these later, you'll see that those gold stones did go through, and the yellow just accentuates them, which was my intent. Cool. My plan worked. Yay. Yeah, just getting to the end of bloom time. I'm going to do a second bloom if I have enough space. There's not much, but I'm not going to be doing very much. I'm going to put down just a little bit of clear, just enough to be able to hold the colors. And I'm going to use the white paste again. I'm going to use the red again, but I'm going to add a little sparkle. I'm going to add pink interference powder with the red and silver interference with the white. And I'm going to alternate. I'm going to do a red one and then skip one, and then that'll be the white one, and then red, and I'll just keep skipping around. But I'm going to try and go out further to the edge, see if I can get that covered over a little bit better. Hope I have room. Got to mix up some resin now. Okay, the resin is up to temperature, so I'm going to pour hopefully that spreads out. Can't pour much more in there and still have room for my colors. I poured the rest over in that other coaster mold. So if I don't have enough, too bad for me. Okay. After saying what I did, I'm sort of changing my mind. I'm going to want to, with the size of the petals that I draw in, I'm gonna do, I said earlier I was gonna alternate, and what I'm going to do is alternate, but in a slightly different way. I'm going to make one big long one and then a short one on the next one, and then a long one. So I'll alternate a long and short, and then I'll just do the opposite pattern with the other color. Red with pink interference. And this is my white with silver interference. You can't see it yet. I'm pouring it into the little bag over here. Can you hear me doing it? See, I zoomed in so that you could see the coasters. And by zooming in, I took out what you can actually see when I'm over here on the side. Okay, so I will start with the red. All the way out, and then this one's going to be short. Ooh, the shininess. That's cool looking. Oh, I went too. Well, make up for it with that one. Interesting pattern. Hopefully it works. You can't see what I'm doing over here on this other one. But I did the exact same technique or pattern. Now for the white. Oh, that's almost ready to flow over. I hope it doesn't. That would not be good. Okay, hope. Oh! Okay, that is barely staying there, but the glitteriness of it is really looking cool. Let me get a little paper towel type of thingy. These are pretty colors. Yeah. And this is definitely blooming. Get that little white off of there. Okay. Getting rid of the bubbles. There's not very many. I'm not going to use it anymore. Wow. Can you see that right there? That pink with the red, just and the white and the silver and the sparkly, and I can definitely see depth in this bloom, the second bloom over the top of the first one. Yeah, I am liking this. Okay, a little bit of alcohol on my silicone tool. Clean it off. Don't want to have any resin hanging on there and then causing it to get brittle. All silicone tools get brittle eventually from use, but you know, if I can keep it lasting longer, that would be ideal. Okay, gloves. Clean off gloves. Got them with alcohol. Wipe them off with a towel. Nice and clean. Crisp and clean, no caffeine. Never had it, never will. Okay, I'm just gonna let this go on time lapse. Time lapse part 2. Checking the temperature. Before I poured, the resin was right about 95, 96. So when I poured it out, it was able to spread and cool a little bit, but even then it's still 93 and 94. But that bloom, right in where I'm using that heat gun, there were certain parts of the white that were not blooming yet, and so I'm trying to get those to go. Like you can see on the sides where I'm not pushing, the white's already blooming wonderfully well, but the other side was being obstinate, recalcitrant. But the shimmer that happens because of the interference powder, wow, really nice. Time for music. Dun da 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 dun da dun da dun da 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 dum ba da 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 dum da 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 da. So my wife does not know that I'm doing this, which is kind of nice. I like being able to surprise her. What she doesn't know and is not in this video, I'm going to be doing some calligraphy for her. I used to, when I was trying to woo her years ago, I would send her letters and I would do different types of calligraphy on the front of the envelope. That's when we still used envelopes. And I developed a font, and I call it the Ruthie Doll Rose font because I love the smell of roses. I mean, a good rose. I don't want a rose from the store that looks pretty but has no good odor. I was just checking the temperature there on the resin. If it smells wonderful and it's beautiful too, then I'll go for it. If it's just beautiful, nah, it's not worth my time. So I call the font the Ruthie Doll Rose font. That was one of my nicknames. Well, my nickname for my wife is Ruthie Doll. So I will surprise her with that on Saturday, June 1st. Yeah, those areas are blooming now, but still not as good as the other parts. But that's okay, because this is the second bloom, and a lot of this might not even be seen from the front. So, but that pink in there, one of the colors at our wedding was pink. Pink and a light baby blue color were the colors that my wife chose, and so this red with the white brings out a good color. And I was trying to match the color of that Mexican sunflower, and I achieved that with the red, but the white diffuses it a little bit and causes it to be pink, which to me is totally fine, because it brings out the colors of our wedding. Now look at that glistening as that's blooming, is just shimmering there. Wow. What you don't know is I'm watching a TV show. That's why I turned off the volume while this is time-lapsing. And then I get up every once in a while and look and see where it was. Now the one on the left, some of that white touched up against the edge of the mold, and notice how it's holding on the top left center. I remember Julie Cutts saying one time, don't let it touch the mold, it's not going to bloom correctly. Well, right there is a prime example. But it's the other places around it are blooming fine. So my mom used to tell a story when she was younger. I guess she was in junior high or high school, and some guy gave her a flower, and he goes, "This reminded me of you." And my mom was like, "Oh, how precious." He goes, "A bloomin' idiot." So for some reason I'm sitting here looking at this thinking, a bloomin' idiot. Now notice how the centers went off. Now that's probably because of me using that heat gun only in certain areas, or maybe it just decided, no, I want to go this way. But it gives it a cool color, or and a cool effect. So I will stop talking, stop singing for a bit, just let you enjoy the show, and you'll be surprised what's going to happen in just a bit. Resin is still a bit tacky, but I dropped the numbers on there. I hope they sink in a little bit, but don't go too far. Yeah, 39. And counting. The numbers sank in there. There's still a little bit of an edge up, but that's awesome what they did. Okay, I'm going to start with number 3, which is on a pink mold, so it's hard to see A little bendy, but it'll suffice. I gotta hide stuff because my wife's been kind of nosy. Oh, that came out really nice. I wanted more red, but it's pretty nice. It's year 39, so I'm gonna have to start with the 3. This is a diamond chisel edge round coaster mold from Resin World. Links are in the description for all the things that I used. So the 3 is there. Oh yeah, not quite the sunflower, but you know, this is really pretty. I'll get some stills after a while. Really nice. Now the 9. For your 39 years. Can you imagine she's put up with me that long? Phew. Oh yeah. And the shimmery of that second. Some stills will be coming up next. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Yeah, shows my age. Yes. Very happy. Hope she'll be pleased. I know she will be, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to the support you give me. Thank you to those who have gotten me a cup of coffee. I can always use more. Hang out with me. You'll never know what you're going to get next. See you soon.